We're going to go ahead and begin today's commission meeting for September 16th, 2020. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone again so much for, just taking the time again to join us during this time. I hope that everyone is staying home, healthy and safe, and that we are doing the best to just maintain our good positive outlook and a good mental attitude throughout all of this. So first off, I would like to go through and do the roll call first. So Larry, we'll go ahead and start with you.
That be Larry Keeler, Commissioner?
All right.
Kathleen Mozak, that's Commissioner.
Gossage, Commissioner.
Welcome, Alex.
Tim Hall, Commissioner.
Welcome, Tim. All right. I guess Matthew is not present either, I guess. But Zach Damon, I am the chairman of the commission.
I see a Mandy.
Yes, is she? Let's see. Hi, Mandy.
Who
Do
is
you have
Mandy?
Okay, there we go. Hi, Mandy. Good afternoon.
Hi, I'm the closed captioner.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, closed caption. That's who she is.
Yep.
How do we get closed captioning to come up on our screens, or is that not possible?
Good question.
Yes,
not
good
sure.
question. I could check with IT or CTN tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's
Zach,
it.
I don't believe we're in quorum.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I was trying to check with Denise on that. We don't seem to have a quorum. Are we able to, since we don't have a quorum, are we able to continue our meeting this afternoon?
You can meet, you cannot make any decisions.
Right.
That's
okay.
right.
Okay.
Vote
All right.
on.
You can,
cannot vote.
anything that, like we can give our reports and all that stuff.
Okay.
You can do that, but you can't
But
vote on
we
anything.
can't vote.
Yeah, okay. All right. Understood. All right. Well, with that, I'd like to move on to the next point in the agenda, which is the approval of the June 17th meeting minutes. And so I was hoping that everyone had an opportunity to look over that. And there was some confusion, I guess. Some were saying that they did not get my email with the materials attached yesterday. Now, did any of you not receive it, or did you get the materials?
I got some of it.
Okay.
I received it yesterday, but I must confess that it's really important. I'm having a challenging time getting so much information at the last minute.
Right.
It would be more helpful for me if we had our information at least 5 days to 7 days ahead of time so that we can really process what it is we're meeting about. But I guess since we're not voting today, it doesn't really affect a lot, but I think I would do a better job if I had my information ahead of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I understand. Yes.
Go ahead.
Larry Keeler here. We used to do that, actually. We used to have our agenda done about a week ahead of time.
Right.
And so I think that can be done and probably should be taken care of in the next meeting or two.
Yes, I can plan that for a week ahead of time.
Yes, definitely. And of course, I was having some power outages this week in my building. So I was a bit, again, tardy getting to the emails due to the power outages. We had another power outage this morning, and luckily everything got turned back on, before we started the meeting. So, but yeah, Kathleen and Larry, great points. And of course, I'll make sure to get everything out to you guys, in a reasonable amount of time so that everyone can review it. And then Denise, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate, the effort that you put in terms of the review of the materials as well as getting that prepared. So I'll make sure that I'm in communication with you on that as well, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So with that said, I'd like to take a minute to review the meeting minutes. And if anyone has any corrections or any comments about the meeting minutes, you can mention that at this time. All right. All right. So are there any corrections or anything that we were missing from the meeting minutes? No? Okay. All right. Was there a motion to approve the meeting minutes then?
Don't think we can do it, can we?
We can't
yeah.
do that.
No,
Well,
can't.
that's
No.
Yeah, we can't do anything.
No,
Right. Okay. So we can't even approve.
We can read them and go
So-
through them.
you can read them in next meeting. If you have a quorum, then you can vote on June's minutes and September's minutes.
Yeah, so what I'd like to do for that, Denise, if we can
Yes.
then add June in, as well as this meeting's minutes
For next meeting,
yes, for the next
October.
meeting.
Sure.
Yep, for October for that agenda. That would be great. So yeah, so we'll be, I guess, approving that at the next meeting. You know,
Right.
it's interesting. This is the first meeting I've attended, guys, where we actually didn't meet quorum, I think. So interesting. Okay. Well, let's move on to the next piece here. So now we're into the fun part of the agenda. We have our first presentation, which is Katie Monkiewicz of the Library for the Blind and Physically Disabled. And I'd like to welcome you, Katie, and hope everything is going well at the library. I know we talked a few months ago about sort of the reopening and how you guys are kind of handling that. And hopefully traffic and things have been, you know, picking up a little bit, but hopefully people are still being safe.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Glad to be here, everybody. And I do have lots of library updates for you, how we've been doing the last couple of months. We are currently open for contactless pickup by appointment. So how that works is you put your items on hold. You can do that through the website, or you can call us at 734-327-4200. We have staff answering that phone between 12 and 8 p.m. every day. So you can put holds on your items over the phone or through the website, and when they are almost ready for you, we will contact you and ask you to make an appointment. And then you just come in on the day of your choosing between 12 and 8 p.m. to whichever branch you like. There'll be a friendly attendant on a screen who you can say hello to and ask short questions if you need to. But the items will be on the shelf with your name on it, already checked out to you, so you just grab them and go. We've been doing this for a little while now. Time's kind of gotten away from me, but I would say a couple of months, and it has been going really well. Both I've staffed the vestibules where items are picked up, and I have picked up items myself as a patron. Felt safe the whole time, and it seems like the service has been really appreciated. So we definitely encourage folks to use that and call us if you have any questions or need help putting items on hold. We also have contactless printing service. So if you need something printed, you can email a link or an attachment to us at ask@aadl.org. I believe that process is going to get a little bit more streamlined in the future, but right now it's just an email, or you can call us if there's something like a form you need us to look up and have printed for you. You can do that, and it's just essentially we can't do same day printing, but it's usually next day when you're able to come and pick it up from any of the branches, again, just on the shelves with your name on it. If you or somebody that you know does not have a computer and needs some help, we do have a service through our outreach department that can possibly help with filling out applications or forms, online account setup or access, or social service research, among other things that you may think of that you usually use the library to look for on the computer. Our staff is available to help with that by appointment. So those are the big things that we've been doing in these different times to sort of substitute library services. We also are still doing programming on aadl.tv. We've got a lot going on there, actually. All of our board meetings where you can find all of the up-to-date information about what we're doing and what we're planning on doing. We've got story times, crafts, book recommendations, trivia. I make salads, if you're into that.
Nice.
All sorts of different stuff. So that's a pretty fun place to check out. That's just aadl.tv. We also have some Black Lives Matter programming and initiatives that include book discussions, call for stories, reading lists, and more. And you can find information about that at aadl.org/Black Lives Matter. So WLBPD patrons are still able to access their materials by calling us at 734-327-4224 and leave a message. So there's not people answering that line, but if you leave a message, it comes right to us and we will call you right back. Or you can email us at wlbpd@aadl.org. A reminder to our library patrons that this is still a really great time to sign up for the Braille and audio reading download service, BARD. There are just like tens of thousands of books, and it's just such a wonderful service, and you don't have to leave your house. If you've got the app, you can take it with you anywhere. So it's pretty great service. Our patrons can sign up at nlsbard.loc.gov or call us 734-327-4224 and we'll help with the application. So I'm going to tell you about some of the just real quickly, a couple of titles that are really popular on the BARD website. We've got The Boy from the Woods by Harlan Coben. 30 years ago, Wilde was found as a boy living feral in the woods. Now, no one seems to take Teen Naomi's disappearance seriously, but attorney Hester, whose grandson told her that Naomi was relentlessly bullied at school, asks Wilde to use his unique skills to find Naomi. And we have Big Summer by Jennifer Weiner. Years after the fight that ended their friendship, plus-sized Instagram influencer Daphne Berg is shocked when her high school frenemy Drew Kavanaugh asks her to be the maid of honor in her society wedding.
Wow, that sounds like quite the story.
Okay, I see
Did
Rachel
Katie freeze
Hawkins
on
now.
us?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, Katie, if you can hear me, unfortunately, you froze on us. Hopefully you're still there. Gosh, guys, I tell you, with the power outages twice today, and then now this, I'm going, come on.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Katie, if you can hear us, no problem. Just feel free to. Oh, I think she's probably going to log back in at some point, Denise. So if we
Okay,
can just keep an eye on that. Okay.
sure.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, I feel bad for Katie. But what we'll do now, guys, just to keep things rolling, is Alex. Oh, Katie, there you are. Oh, can you unmute, please?
There
Okay.
I am.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Sorry about that. I have some connectivity issues.
I know.
Oh, we
Yeah.
all.
I
I see
think
Rachel
I got
Hawkins
through.
now.
What's that?
I see Rachel Hawkins now.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Welcome, Rachel. All right.
I
Anything
got
else?
through my spiel though. Does anybody have any questions about the library?
So just to be clear, at the aadl.tv is where you have, excuse me, a lot of the digital programming, right? So you're going to be having a lot of that digital programming there. And of course, again, a little salad making too. So
Little
that's
Yes.
salad making.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up again, Zach, because I meant to mention as well that we are going to be having Visions 2020 virtually
Nice.
on October 7th. And you can
Okay.
find more information about that on our website at aadl.org/visions. And that will all be on aadl.tv. So we're really excited about that.
Nice. Awesome.
Katie, Larry Keeler here.
Larry?
It's virtual? It's going to be
it'll
virtual?
virtual. So there's going to be
Oh,
there'll be a handful of vendor videos, you know, not as many vendors as participate as usual, but that's to be expected. There'll be a handful of those. And then we've got 3 great presenters, including New York Times bestseller Ingrid Ricks, which I'm really excited about.
Wow, that's
okay.
incredible.
More information on the website.
Awesome. Make sure everyone that you visit aadl.tv and check out all of the great literature and programming that you guys are providing. What's the recipe for this week? Can you spill that for us?
Actually, it's not going to be this week because I'm doing actually like a little bit of research, as
Okay.
silly as that sounds. But if you know about the Maurice salad from Hudson's back in the day, it's a great fixture. That's what I'm working on.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Katie, for everything and for everything that your staff is doing. Really awesome, innovative stuff. And again, check out aadl.tv. And of course, hopefully all of us can attend the Visions in October. Seems great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So next, we have Alex Gossage with the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living. Welcome, Alex.
Hi, good afternoon, Zach. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see folks again. I've been seeing a lot of the same faces this summer, so it's nice to get some new ones mixed in as well. The Ann Arbor CIL buildings, our offices that are located here in Ann Arbor, as well as down in Monroe, are still closed to the public. However, we are still providing services remotely by phone and really any other manner that we can, as long as it's contactless. We have made some concessions to that and worked with some folks who absolutely could not work in a different format on an as needed basis. So you're always welcome to reach out to us and we'll make sure to work with you, but we are still available Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Phone number is 734-971-0277. And that, as well as our info@aacil.org email address, are still probably the best ways to reach a large group of folks if you're not looking for somebody in particular. But with that said, as I mentioned, we are still open and doing a lot of work. And so I'll just go over a few things that we have going on at the moment. A new program that we've started called Disability Community Action Lab. I believe the first meeting was actually last week. It's an opportunity for folks with disabilities to come together, work with their peers, and develop your skills in advocacy. And then CIL will also be there to provide guidance and support as folks are interested in getting out into the community and advocating for whatever issues and topics they feel are most important to them. If you are interested in that, please send an email or contact Will Purvis. His email is wpurvis, PURVES, @aacil.org. And you can also fill out an interest form that is either on our weekly newsletter or I believe on our website as well. In addition, another activity that we have going on right now is a community resources info group. A lot of the discussions in this group are related to Social Security, retirement, and a lot of the different ways that your income and retirements in a lot of instances, or Social Security disability, are being affected at the moment. So if those are topics that are important to you, we have a group that is meeting from Thursdays from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And you can contact Joyce Blair at jblair@aacil.org, RSVP. Something else that we're trying out that's a little bit new and hopefully will be fun is Trivia Tuesdays. And that started yesterday. And if you are interested in that activity, it's going to be on Tuesdays. And I believe they're going to be sorting out some times. It's either going to be from 2 to 3 or 4 to 5, depending on the group size that we get. But if you are interested in that activity, you can reach out to Jean. Probably the best way to do that is to give her a call. And her phone number is 734-971-0277, extension 54. Another new activity that we have going on, I guess it's September, like I said, has been a busy month, is Safe Connections. It's a support group that we are doing in collaboration with some of our community members, and it's related to, I'll just read out, actually I'll read the description, that'd probably be better. Are you an ally against harmful or unhealthy relationships, or a survivor of sexual assault or domestic violence? Excuse me. Do you have a disability? Join us for safe talk, kinship, and support. It'll be Mondays from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. starting just this past Monday. And again, we're doing that in collaboration with Safe House. Excuse me. You can RSVP for that activity by reaching out to Shannon Clark at sclark@aacil.org. See a few other things that we have going on right now. We've also just kind of restarted a group that we've been doing in person for a long time, but for obvious reasons, we had to stop it pretty abruptly back in March. But we have an online spinal cord injury support group, which is meeting on Tuesdays from 12 to 1. And you can RSVP to Tom Hoatland at tom@aacil.org. And finally, just a couple more things, and I'll be done, and you won't have to hear me cough anymore. Some of the ongoing programs that we've had this summer are Virtual Art Studio, which is moving to a new day, Thursdays from 2 to 3 p.m. And you can RSVP to Anna Diesbeeper at anna@aacil.org. A Virtual Movie Club is also moving to a new day. It's going to be Fridays at 3 p.m. And you can RSVP to Shannon Clark, sclark@aacil.org for more information. But again, we are open, we are available, and we're doing as much as we can remotely to keep folks safe, secure, and we know that there's a lot going on right now, so please do not hesitate to reach out.
Awesome. I mean, a lot of great stuff going on, Alex. And I was going to ask sort of the same thing, that pretty much all of these programs right now are, remote. So no one's going into any buildings, different things like that. So
Correct.
Pretty easy to access, if anyone is interested in joining any of the programs. And I'm glad you mentioned the spinal cord injury support group, because I was going to mention that as well. And great thing. It's a great thing. And I believe last week you guys talked about sort of, COVID-19 resources and kind of how those were being handled in that community. Any feedback on that? Did you guys get a good response?
I know we've had a good showing so far, so we've been pretty pleased with the amount of folks that we are getting involved in our activities on a regular basis. I should also mention that if folks are interested in participating in these activities and either a computer connection or a phone connection is a potential barrier for them to participate, they should reach out to us and we'll problem solve that with them and see what we can do to make sure that they can get connected to the community.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Alex, for all that you're doing with the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living and your hardworking staff as well. Please give Tom and Anna and everyone at the CIL the regards from the commission. We really appreciate everything you guys are doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, and I just muted myself by accident. Pardon me. Okay. Okay. So next, well, I don't think we're going to have any public comment this evening, but I'd like to move on to the city personnel report with Denise.
Oh, okay, all right.
There you go.
Okay, the city council has been interviewing over the summer for the city administrator's position and settled on a couple of finalists whose profiles can be viewed on the city website. So as of yesterday, A2 News, City Council voted unanimously on September 14 to move forward with negotiating a contract with Tom Crawford for the city administrator's position, which he has been serving in as interim base since March.
Got it. Got it. No, thank you. Thank you. And hopefully if there's anything that, you know, Mr. Crawford encounters or vice versa, hopefully he, you know, is aware of us and knows that he is more than welcome to reach out. And you know, I'd be interested to, you know, down the line, have him speak to our commission and introduce himself so that we can all be familiar.
Sure, just let me know and I will handle that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. All right, moving on, we will come to the chair report. So I'd like to let you guys know, I know, Elizabeth, you and I did talk about this at the last meeting in June about getting the crash test data for review for the commission so that we can finally give a response on the things that we've been working on in terms of the crosswalk law and some other things. And of course, I was in contact with Ms. Wandrash, and they did send me the data, and I was reviewing it. And then what had happened was, unfortunately, it got deleted from my email, and I had tried to contact them to resend it, and I haven't heard back. So it's just been kind of a very interesting turn of events, because I got it and they had called me back and sent me the information. I was reviewing it to make sure, okay, what can I report and what can I say to the commission? And then just somehow, you know, I don't know what I did, whether I accidentally, I don't know what I clicked, but I wasn't able to find it after that. And it was very frustrating. So I've contacted Lisa at least twice to resend it to me, and I haven't heard back. So once I get that information once more, then I promise you guys I will send it to you. We can review it and then get a response to the parties that are seeking that.
Are you talking about the crash data?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, because there's something on the Transportation Commission agenda for tonight that might be what you're looking for. That actually the documents are in Legistar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, are you able to send that to me, Tim, if you have it?
I could, but it's on Legistar. It's like, yeah, just
okay. Now, what is Legistar, guys? I don't think I've ever dealt with that.
It's the website that's got all our like agendas and documents and
the city web, the city
website, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I can take a look at that this evening and see if that information is adequate. I do appreciate that, Tim. If you can also report to the Transportation Commission, because I think one of your other commissioners did reach out and said that they would like our feedback. So if you can let them know that we will give them a response. I'm just trying to get the accurate information so that we can review it and give them something that is of substance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we couldn't have decided this week anyway because we don't have quorum. But
right. But I'm doing my best to be transparent and let you guys know that I'm not. My goal is to get this. You know, I don't want to say taken care of as soon as possible. But we've been working on this for quite some time, and I want to be able to adequately get a response and get something that makes all of us satisfied, and the rest of the commission's satisfied as well. So. All right, but thank you, Tim, and I will take a look at Legistar this evening to see if I can find that information, and then if that is adequate, you guys, I will send that out immediately so that we can review that for next month's meeting, and then basically, again, get a response to the Transportation Commission, as well as anyone else who is seeking one on that subject. All right. Now, the next that was on the chair report for me, Denise, I just wanted to double check, or maybe Councilwoman Nelson, maybe you have some information on this as well. But do we know, are we going to continue to meet virtually just sort of going forward at this time, or have things sort of loosened up and are we able to now meet?
My guess is that we continue to meet virtually.
Okay.
Haven't received any notification otherwise.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything either. I've not heard any update. I think we're going to be meeting virtually as long as the governor will allow it.
Okay. Okay. So then that'll happen for October and for basically the foreseeable future until notified otherwise. And I'm sure, Denise and Councilwoman Nelson, if you guys do hear otherwise, of course, please let me know, and then I can, notify the commission, and hopefully that can be, done in a safe manner, of course, the transition. But thank you.
Yes, no problem. And I wanted to say, if you needed any help with Legistar, just let me know.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. All right. So that is my chair report. So next I'd like to move on to the Community Engagement Committee and Rachel Hawkins.
I see her here. Let's see.
Yeah, Rachel, could you unmute, please, or activate your microphone if you're here?
Let me see.
Can you
hear
we
me?
Are. Yes,
Can
I
you hear
can.
it? Okay.
Hello?
Hey.
Okay. I'm sorry. So I was unmuted on my phone because I don't, but apparently I was muted on the computer, so that's why it wasn't working. So
No
I am
problem.
here.
Okay.
So I just wanted to follow up. So I know so far with COVID, a lot of our community engagement meetings we, had not had canceled. I don't know if we're planning on moving our subcommittees to Zoom and how that would work. But as a different topic, the main thing that I have going on right now is closed captioning for Ann Arbor Inclusive. So we have brought this up, I want to say back in maybe May.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like from talking with Linda Ferber, there was some miscommunication about what the request was. So I just wanted to follow up and to confirm that the request is that they wanted to discuss the possibility of eliminating the closed captioning, that they felt that most YouTube and other sites are already making closed captioning that's for the video, and wondered
Sure.
about if it was something that we needed to keep
Sure.
at this point.
Right. Now, and
So right now they're going through a closed captioning company who does it themselves.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Now, my question is, and I don't know if this came up, but I know that they're doing the shows sort of remotely through Zoom, and so are they then when they post them to YouTube, then the closed captions come up, or how does that work? Because we just want to make sure that that's still accessible and that there's no glitches and things like that. Meaning, if they post an episode to YouTube, that those closed captioning, that closed captioning is available. That being said too, if
No,
it airs
I
on
understand that.
right, and of course if it airs on CTN, hopefully they still have the closed captioning service there, because if you eliminate closed captioning, then does that will the closed captioning that they're doing on YouTube, does that translate over to what they're airing in CTN, right?
Yes, and Linda said that it does translate over, but she might be able to articulate the reasoning behind this decision, because it wasn't a financial reason, which is what we had been told before.
Right, that's what I was under the impression of. Which
is not correct.
Okay.
So I talked to her today by phone before this meeting, and she had confirmed that it was a request to eliminate it. It wasn't driven by funding.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she said this is proposed because most TVs and/or devices have closed captioning options on them. It has nothing to do with the city not wanting to pay for the captioning. That possibility has never been mentioned to CTN by communications personnel.
Okay, good to know. Well, that's that's an interesting question, I think, for the commission, but unfortunately, because we don't have a quorum, we're we can't really move and make a decision today. But I'd be interested to get.
But I would be against it.
Thank you for your feedback, Larry. I was just going to open it up for comment.
Thank you, Larry.
Are there any others that have some feedback on this? Because it is important, whatever decision we make in terms of eliminating it for now or keeping the captioning how it is for Ann Arbor Inclusive. So Larry, okay, go ahead.
I would be against it because every TV doesn't have closed captioning, and not everybody wants to put their TV on closed captioning. I know I have a daughter who's deaf, and sometimes they don't want to put their TV on closed captioning, or sometimes she runs into other TVs. So yeah, she could always get the. If you, and my feeling is, if you cancel an option, then that's one less option.
Right.
If you cancel it, it's like going backwards.
Right. And again, to repeat what you said, Rachel, it's more of a logistics thing than it is financial. So, I think I don't want to speak for Ann Arbor Inclusive or CTN, but I think for them, that's just sort of one less thing that they have to worry about. But, I agree with you, Larry. I wouldn't want us to basically, be airing episodes, and then because someone doesn't know how to work the captioning on YouTube or what have you, because aren't those captions optional, folks? I don't know. Like Mindy's in the middle of her job right now, so I don't want to take you away from that. But, I'm not sure. I don't know if you select it and you put the captions on YouTube once you post it, if they stay there. From my experience, things get posted and then you're watching a video and you can select the captions as an option, but that doesn't mean that they're permanently there, in the video.
And if you can't see it, if you try to share it, you don't necessarily know where the closed caption button is.
Right.
For those.
Right. That's understood. Does anyone else have any quick feedback on that? Because we're not going to make a decision. I just want to know kind of what the consensus is. Should we keep it, or, logistically, should we get rid of the closed caption?
Yeah, Kathleen here.
Hi,
I'm
Kathleen.
very concerned. I don't believe that is heading in the right direction. I think it's a step backwards.
Right.
I think it says, "Hi, welcome to Ann Arbor Inclusive, but you're not included."
Right.
Because we've always provided that service, to take it away just
Right.
seems counterintuitive to me.
Right.
I'm very concerned. I'd like to see more information on this, however.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, and
It's Rachel
Larry,
Hawkins.
oh,
And
Rachel, go ahead.
that's one thing that I wanted to add as well. Maybe this is something we could revisit at a future meeting and see if Linda is able to come in and give more information about the reasoning behind this, and to talk directly with the commission, if that would be helpful to you all.
It would.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I've actually been trying to get Tom and or Linda to kind of address the commission on issues of this. But of course, the only person that I can seem to communicate with regularly about Ann Arbor Inclusive is Melissa and yourself. So, but yeah, if they're interested in coming to next month's meeting to speak about it, Denise, if we can also put this on the agenda for October to talk about the closed captioning once again, I would appreciate that. And then Rachel, yes, if we can have Linda present or Tom present and talk about, their reasoning or their thought process on this, that would be helpful.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. So,
Okay, that sounds good, and we'll coordinate that offline.
okay. All right. Anything else for Ann Arbor Inclusive?
No, that was the only thing.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Thanks.
Yeah. So next we have, all right. So we have the Partners and Access Committee. And I believe that's you, Larry?
Who, me?
Yeah. Has there been any movement?
No, there hasn't been any movement. I've canceled the last one because there's only other one person, and she's hard to get a hold of, and I can't.
Okay.
I don't even know. She hasn't even been to a few of our commission meetings.
Right.
So I'm just waiting to see what COVID's doing, and as soon as I can do that, we're going to draw up an agenda of things that we need to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm sure that when I do that, I'll talk with you too, Zach, and see if you got. Probably. You know what I want to do? I want to meet in our next one. I want you to come to our next one.
Okay.
And we'll see if you got any ideas to form an agenda that we can get working on.
Right. Right. Exactly. Okay. And I appreciate all of you. I know this is very frustrating with, different schedules, but then it also being remote. In some ways it's more convenient. In other ways, not so much, because it's so easy to get distracted or be working on different, other things. But, I know that all of us are doing the best that we can to keep things moving forward. And as far as the committees and subcommittees, I do want to be able to address those, Larry, so that, we can continue to be working on things, but in a sufficient schedule so that things are, continually moving. And of course, I think we're doing our best to adjust. It's still different, and it's still, it's still what it is, but we're all doing the best we can. So thank you for that, Larry, as far as the Partners and Access Committee is concerned. And yes, shoot me a text or give me a call, as well as shoot me an email. Let me know kind of, when the next scheduled meeting will be, and I can put that on my calendar. Okay.
Agreed. We'll do that.
All right. And then don't go anywhere, Larry, because we actually have you next up for the recruiting activity. And I know that.
Oh, this is a little more successful. More successful, yeah.
Okay.
Because I was involved. That's why it was successful.
That's right. Well, a couple months ago in July, I walked over to and sat on Councilman Nelson's porch, and we went through some applications, and she sent the information out to me. And I have since contacted and or tried to contact the 5 members that were still there. Now, I don't know if we got any applications in the interim,
Okay.
but we did get two people that were interested.
Okay.
Out of those 5, we got 2 that were interested, 1 that was not, which surprised me, and 2 that I never did get back, that never got back to me
Okay.
in any fashion. One of them, in fact, had an email address and phone number that did not work.
Oh, weird, guys. Okay.
And so there are 2 applicants. I don't know if I want to mention them yet, but I
don't think we
did
them today.
I did mention to Elizabeth so that
Okay.
I did mention to Elizabeth so that they could be considered for the council floor eventually, or when they're going to do that.
Well, so one comment I have. So the process that this body goes through to have Larry work on recruitment and actually look through applications, I introduced a resolution to have other bodies do this, and Human Rights Commission actually just went through this process. If anybody would be interested, I actually now know how to make a packet of the resumes and the application materials to be shared. So if I don't know if anybody else would be interested in looking at the materials of the people that Larry was able to coordinate with, but I actually can do that now. So I could share that if anybody is interested in that, in looking at that.
You can do it. I didn't know if you could do that.
I only just figured out how to do it 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Human Rights Commission said, "Oh, this is a great idea. Let's form a subcommittee." And so instead of, it was too many people to sit on my porch with me. So yeah, so they suggested email.
Porch.
So
Okay.
I like sitting on your porch and going and messing with your chickens.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. So anyway, so Larry, that's great that Larry has names. But like I said, if you, Zach, if you're interested, I could make a packet and send it to you. And you can look at the people that we looked at.
Yeah. I'm interested.
So do I need to speak to you? Do I need to call you this week or something, and we can talk one day about the 2 people that are interested?
Well,
and then when we find that they're interested, we can put them on we can see if they want the commission to know yet.
Sure. There are a couple of things I didn't have time to do to prepare for this meeting. I will check and make sure that there aren't any new applications since we talked in July. And then if there aren't any, then the 2 people that you told me that you were able to connect with, I'll make a packet of them so that there's an email document that can be shared. Okay.
Okay,
sure.
And are there any other commissioner? Well, shoot, we can't really make solid decisions, but are there any other commissioners that are interested in also reviewing those packets? Anyone else at this time? Not at the time. That's okay. No problem. But I'm happy to look it over, Elizabeth, and give my feedback to you and Larry.
And as chair, you probably should too. As chair, you probably should, Zach, because Sally was in on this too.
Sure.
When I had people drop out and everything, Sally was in on it when she was chair. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy.
Which greatly helps me.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm.
I don't mind doing it, but I sure like to help.
Absolutely. And I apologize.
And thank you, Miss Nelson.
Sure, anytime.
Councilman Nelson. Yeah.
Well, and guys, I'm happy to also.
And it was easy to walk over your house too.
All right. Well, thank you guys, and I'm happy to, set up too once we've reviewed it. If you guys just want to do a quick call or something, and just give feedback and different things. You guys have already reviewed these 2 candidates, correct? Or you just know of them and you would be sending them?
Well, we reviewed them, and I put up the list, and I actually haven't physically talked to the second one, but I did email one of them.
Okay.
And I talked to one of them.
Sure. Okay.
I talked to one of them, and I let him know he might have a little bit of an issue because he's actually an Ypsi resident now, but he does a lot of stuff in Ann Arbor. So.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to, double check on that. Councilwoman Nelson, in terms of, the geographic location and all of that. I know that, you know, that's kind of been something that's been brought up in the past with other commission applications. You know, that if they live outside of the city, you know, how does that work with them joining a, you know, City of Ann Arbor commission? So
They just
They
need
have to
more
have a
votes.
majority vote. They
Oh,
just need
okay.
more votes from city council. That's all. I mean, if we like them, like let's say there's somebody in Ypsi Township and we like them,
Mhm.
if they work in Ann Arbor, they just have to have a substantial amount of votes from the. I think it's what is it 7?
Yeah, it's 7 or 8. I can't remember, but it would really, I don't see it being a problem.
Okay.
I mean, particularly if it was an applicant that came with recommendations from like Kodai wanting that person. And also this is a special kind of commission. You know, HR, Human Rights Commission is one of those special kinds of commissions where you really are, you're looking for special people who have a real special interest, I should say. Like, you know, it's different. It's a different kind of commission.
Right.
Well, and we've had people from different areas. We have at least one now who's not from the doesn't live in Ann Arbor exactly. And she's not in there.
Okay. No, yeah, I mean, I was just double checking because I just wanted to make sure, you know, that we're doing our best to follow all protocols and things like that. So good to know. Good to know. Thank you guys. And so yeah, Larry, you know, if you can, you know, if Elizabeth, if you don't mind sending me that information, and then once I review it, you know, either I can give you my feedback, you know, through email, or we can set up a call, like a Zoom call or whatever, and just discuss it. And I think that would be best, because then the communication is right there. And then whomever we're bringing to, you know, the mayor and city council, I think we'll know who that is by the end of that call.
Sure.
So,
and Councilwoman Nelson's been a whole lot of help with that. I thank her endlessly. So
anytime.
There is that.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. I do appreciate your patience and efforts. All right, thank you guys. So, okay. All right. Now, moving forward, we have the announcements portion. I don't have anything at this time, but next there is the UOM Council for Disability Concerns meeting update. And I did see those meeting minutes, and I did skim over them, Kathleen, but any new updates for us?
Sorry, I was muted there. Hi, everybody. So the meeting that was posted was for June, and we've met all the way through September. So I'm wondering, Denise, if for October, if you could put July, August, and September for the commission to review for October, that would be lovely. I'm going to go ahead, because so much has happened, I'm just going to go ahead and give September's reports, because I feel like going back to June, I may be going over things that aren't applicable anymore. So
sure.
The commission can read that at their own leisure when it's sent to them by Denise. That would be great. So in September, I unfortunately did not make this meeting, so I'm kind of giving you feedback from my notes. So let me see here. So we did, we're looking at fall programming. Normally October is Disability Awareness Month. And that can't really happen right now because, or in-meeting stuff is not happening. But they are looking at having an online disability parade September 27th from 2 to 5 p.m. There are not any other details. So I would suggest, if people want more information, to go to the university website, to the Council for Disability Concerns, and you can get more information from them there. They'll also be hosting a panel discussion on the pandemic and impacts on disability communities. That's in the planning phase right now. They will still be handling the Neubacher Award ceremony, the online publicity campaign that will honor recipients. There will be a recorded acceptance from the winner. That's all going to be online as well. And then Alice Wong, who wrote Disability Visibility, is going to give a book talk this fall at U of M, and the CFDC is a co-sponsor of that. Again, I don't have dates for any of that. That was not in the minutes, so I don't know if that means they're in the planning phases. So I would, again, go to the council website to get any information for further. There was a presentation by the Detroit Disability Power. Dessa Cosma is the executive director, and Jeffrey Nolish is the policy director. Their mission is to leverage and build the organizing power of the disability community to ensure full inclusion of people with disabilities in the Metro Detroit area. They've been working on things to try to include and advocate for an office for people with disabilities in the city of Detroit. They're looking at the coronavirus response. They just recently won an executive order that prohibits discriminating against people with disabilities in their triage plans, because
we were a part of that.
Was happening, yes. And then they've been working on Black Lives Matter and working on helping to get people in for the vote. And why voting matters for the disability community is because we're behind. We're behind on quality of life measures. We need political power to change that. And they recommend that whenever the public or we have an opportunity, that we remind and discuss with our elected officials our concerns and our needs for disability advocacy and awareness, because it seems like we're taking a step backwards right now with everything that's going on. And so we need to be even more diligent in keeping our voices heard and our faces out there. So that's all I have.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kathleen. And, thank you for, again, all of the work that, you and the Council for Disability Concerns at UM are doing. I know Dessa very well. She's a very awesome woman. And of course, as you know, the commission, we were actually partners in that executive order in early March for that executive order with the governor. So all of us should feel very proud of that. And of course, the work that Disability Power Detroit is doing, and Dessa and all of her staff is amazing. And I hope to have Dessa actually present at a commission meeting down the line. So I'm glad that she was able to present to you guys. And I hope that's a partnership that can continue for a long time, because they're doing great things. So thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Let's see what we've got next. Okay. All right. Well, we've pretty much covered
Transportation Commission.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
you forgot Tim.
Thank you. Yes, the report for the Transportation Commission. Thank you, Tim. I apologize.
Yeah, so we met a few times. You should have gotten all the minutes. I know a few things we discussed were like the whole Healthy Streets initiative, like all the stuff they were doing with that, and the CIP program, like in the budget, like projects that are going forward with respect to transportation. We had a presentation from AAATA regarding the service restoration plan, which is now in effect. And that's changed some things over. Obviously they were running on reduced schedule before that, but this changed. It actually increased the frequency on some routes and eliminated other routes. It seems like they've concentrated more on providing frequent service because of the need for social distancing. And and they're also providing flex ride service for like when you can't use the fixed route, which includes the night and hot service that they used to do through Night Ride and Hot Ride. And the other thing is we did have a presentation about the crash data, and we're going to get more information at this upcoming meeting, and that should be on Legistar under the Transportation Commission meeting minutes. And Legistar is the city website that handles all the agendas and minutes and stuff.
Great.
In case you don't know what that is.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you, Tim, and thank you for all the work that you're doing with the Transportation Commission. And I'm glad to hear that data is going to be something that's discussed with you at your meeting actually this evening as well. So yeah, Denise, I'll probably be reaching out to you to sort of navigate that and figure out how I can get that crash data to the commission, because that's imperative. And I know that it's taken a long time to like hunt that data down. But I'm just doing my best to sort of learn the resources that are within the city to be able to get us information faster in the future. And it's been a big learning curve. So I appreciate everyone being patient with me in that.
Sure, I don't mind helping at all.
Okay, great. So I'll be in touch with you about navigating that and finding it. Okay. Well, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. All right. So let's see. That is all I have at the moment. Are there any other sort of last announcements anyone wants to make or anything that they'd like to communicate at this time that was not communicated? Councilwoman Nelson, before we end the call today, I would like to get your contact information because I do have your email, but I was planning on giving you a call about a question that I had, but I had misplaced your contact number. So if before the meeting is over, if I can have that one more time, that would be great.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Zach? Yes. Excuse me, I wanted to know, I sent an update to the agenda about the reporting requirements in the R2342. Chapter 40 referred to the Environmental Commission and Commission on Disability. Did anybody want to speak to that today before we close?
Yes, good question. I actually did have that up on my desktop and I was reviewing that, and so I do apologize that had slipped my mind for this meeting, Denise. Did anyone get a chance to review that? Okay. Let me see if I can.
Review which?
What's that, Larry?
I said review which?
So it was the
Chapter 40 referred to the Environmental Commission and the Commission on Disability Issues. The resolution 2342, is that the trees and vegetation?
Yeah. And
I haven't seen it, but it's probably here.
Well, this is what I can do, guys. I have it up on my screen, so I can share my screen with you guys really quick.
Okay.
if we'd like to take a look. Hold on. Oh, whoops! Unfortunately, I'm not able to, because I'm not the host. So.
Oh, hold on.
Okay. Hold on. Is there a way to?
Can we share screen?
Yeah. Is there a way to share my screen with them so that I can show the commission the resolution?
I can describe it a little bit because council talked about it.
That would work for me.
Well, I mean, while he's figuring out how to share the screen, Councilmember Hayner brought this up. I would actually have to refresh my memory if you're able to share screens. I think the current vegetation ordinance as written says that you can't have anything growing higher than 12 inches in private property unless it's part of a cultivated garden. And if it's the idea is that if you just are neglecting your yard and it gets over 12 inches, there should be a consequence for that. But this was sort of going to broaden the depth. First of all, it was going to raise the height limits from 12 to 18. And I think that it added some categories more than just like a landscape. There was very specific words used, like a landscaping. It was exempt from these height limits. And I think the amendment added other categories such as like a pollinator garden or I feel like there was something else. I haven't looked at it in a while. I talked to Jeff actually yesterday about it. He was quite surprised that this was not something we couldn't just deal with at the table. At that particular meeting, when one of the council members suggested, let's refer it, he was like, what? Why do we have to refer it? It's fairly straightforward. It's sort of just like how tall things are growing, but it was referred
Right.
to us with the idea that like members of this commission should weigh in about their thoughts, you know, navigating around, because this is the kind of thing that could be potentially growing on somebody's lawn right next to the sidewalk. It could be on a corner. It's the difference between 12 inches and 18 inches, but it's also, those things are growing that height anyway, just they're permitted because if it's like a bush or a shrub that's clearly part of your landscaping, it's permitted. So it's a little bit of it is just semantics of like, how are we defining things?
Right. And if it would, you know, like you said, block a certain sidewalk, or, you know, you never know, it could block a portion of an access way. Agreed.
Right.
And so, you know, I appreciate Denise sending that along, and then I appreciate your feedback on that, Councilwoman Nelson. Unfortunately, I'm not able to share my screen so that everyone can see it.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can share mine.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Can you see it?
Yay.
Okay.
Yep, I sure can. Oh, great.
Whew. It's
Okay.
always a hold your
right.
breath moment.
Thank you so much. Okay, so, right. So, let's see. So, the Transportation Commission and
This
go
isn't
ahead.
actually the amendment, though. I don't think.
I need
It
the
doesn't.
amendment. Okay.
This is the resolution referring it to the commission.
Okay, let me see. I have it. I have to look a little further. Hold on.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think this is something to, you know, consider at the next meeting. You know, the biggest thing I wanted to know is, you know, kind of, again, you know, what kind of feedback they're looking for. And again, you know, how we go about getting the feedback to, you know, the Environmental Commission. You know, what's the best method? I mean, should we just, again, talk about it, you know, in October and then say, well, this is, you know, this is what we think, and then I can email them our feedback, or, you know, I just want to make sure that there's a timely manner and a system down for us to be able to send our feedback on this.
I think that's pretty much what would happen. I think if it's on the agenda for the October meeting, we could discuss it and then have like a vote on whether up or down, like what your concerns are, whether you think it's okay. Because that was the point of the referral, was to get feedback. Like if you guys look at it and think it's terrible, like we should tell council, that message should be relayed to council.
Right. Okay.
Larry Keeler here.
Okay. Hi, Larry.
My question for consideration is the same thing that we were considering with the snow stuff earlier on. If like, let's say we have let's say I can't see that, so I don't mow my lawn, and I have to either have help mowing my lawn or something like that. Can I get assistance if my if my vegetation tends to break the rule?
So, like,
will I get a ticket for having the disability, or will there be a way that I can meet the requirements and the city might help? It's, you know, it's the same idea as you know, shoveling the sidewalks. If you're unable to shovel the sidewalk, can you get assistance with that?
Right. Like, how would
or can you get exemption from the ticket at least?
So, like, how
due
would
to
that,
disability?
Right.
That would be where I'd figure the biggest part of the commission's thing would be, because, you know, if you got a disability and you can't see, for example, and you don't know, you're not be going out mowing down your flower garden by accident, and so you just don't, you know, you either have to hire somebody or whatever, and, you know, of course, in these times it's hard to hire somebody. Can you talk to the city administrator and say, you know, I've got a disability. Can you fill out a form, and, you know, can somebody my lawn real quick in certain areas or something?
Right, like Davy tree trimming, or, you know, so
tree trimming especially.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I can't give a specific answer on that right now, Larry, because I'm not sure really, Councilwoman Nelson, I mean, it seems to me, and at least the reactions that I've gotten, when talking to other council members, I mean, a lot of stuff that deals with like residential, a lot of what I've gotten back is, well, that's the residents' responsibility in terms of
that's where I'd see it would really affect us.
Right.
Well, I have to tell you, like, what you're talking about, Larry, like, I've actually talked to people at City Hall about this. Like, I've been talking about this since I was first elected, actually. The idea of people who are elderly or people who have other reasons that make it more difficult for them to comply with these things. The idea you're talking about, Larry, of like just being able to connect to a resource to take care of it for you, this is something I'm talking about. It's a little bit complicated. It's a little bit complicated just because it just is, but like it's not a crazy idea. Like I don't think it's a crazy idea because I've been talking to people about it. But it doesn't exist yet. It doesn't exist.
Excuse me, can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I had to go to Legistar. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Because my thought in bringing that up is, since I mean, public housing takes care of mine. But let's say I own my own house, and I wasn't able to do that, to take care of the yard the way I should. And the city comes and knocks on my door. I mean, yeah, I could hire somebody if I had the money, but if I didn't have the money, I still want to keep in compliance with the city.
Right.
And how would I do that if I had some kind of underlying issue? And I think that's where the commission that would be the thing the commission should consider the most, I think.
Right.
So, yeah, Denise, can we add this to the October agenda to be able to, have the commission review this and then basically give our feedback on this to the Environmental Commission?
Okay.
Thank you.
I think we're actually giving our feedback directly to council. I think.
Oh, we are?
Directly to council?
Wow, nice.
Yes, I think it was referred separately to transportation and environmental, or no, not transportation and Commission on Disabilities a couple of months ago, and then it's only been at the last meeting that it was referred to environmental.
Okay.
But you're actually you're reviewing it directly to council. And this is as I remember it, as I'm looking at the text. Yeah, if it's cultivated, if it's planted, it can be, it sounds like it can be whatever, as long as it's planned. But if it's not cultivated, then it's not supposed to be higher than 18 inches or 12 inches.
Y'all just don't want a jungle out front.
Right.
Right. Understood.
Yes, this is correct. It needs to report back to City Council.
Okay, thank you. So then, Elizabeth, you're our liaison to council, right? So then would it be accurate to say then when we do discuss this in October that would you be, our liaison to be able to get our feedback?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Yes.
Great. Thank you. So yeah, hopefully, so it is in registrar, but hopefully, we can get this in an email as well so that everybody can review it. I know you sent this, so what I got was not this. I got something else in my email, Denise. So
I'll send this out.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I know I'm giving you a lot today, but I appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
Yep, exactly.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
My question is, so in this whole ordinance, the only change they're looking at or that's being presented and that we need to discuss is the height issue, or are there other issues involved? Because I'm only seeing this one thing. Is that true, Councilman Nelson?
So
yeah, this is.
Go ahead.
This is the whole thing. Just that red. That red is the whole of it. It's a very small thing, which is why Councilmember Hayner was like, seriously, we're referring it to 3 different commissions?
Yeah. Now, can you enlighten me, Councilwoman Nelson, as to what the red is?
Oh yeah,
it's
the
not gonna
red
show up in
is,
my document.
it says, okay, vegetation on private property. So basically like in your yard. On private property, outside of a cultivated bed or planned natural landscape. And then this is the red that they added. Like, so it's outside of those landscapes, no vegetation shall be permitted higher than 12 inches. Okay, so the red, that was what it was. Outside of a cultivated bed or natural landscape, it can't be higher than 12 inches. Then we changed it, or with the change that what was proposed was to add a vegetable or flower garden, a pollinator garden, or a rain garden. So there's these extra categories that count as you can make it taller. You know, if you have a yard, the tree is way taller than 12 inches. Oh, and then we changed it to 18 inches. So, yeah,
I
mean,
the 12-inch limit better.
Yeah, well, but things are already higher than 12 inches because if you say this is a cultivated bed or a planned natural landscape, it can be as tall as you want.
Yeah, you're right. But
Right.
I was thinking about the guys who don't mow their lawns, and then, you know, that hides everything in there, and you start walking across somebody's lawn and tripping on stuff that you didn't know was there because it's all covered with grass.
Right. Yeah, so that's the challenge.
Right. I mean, it doesn't really, it doesn't cover lawns or anything. It's more of, again, other vegetation, Larry, in terms of, flower
I'm
gardens,
seeing that.
things
No,
like
I'm
that.
seeing that.
I mean, if you stumbled into somebody's tomato patch, that would be strange.
That would be. Well, Elizabeth, I know where you live. Watch your tomatoes.
Oh, I ate tomatoes this year.
So, okay, I think it's safe to say, guys, that I know we've given some feedback here, but of course, since we don't have a quorum, we can't really get that, to council right now. So I propose and hope that in October we can have a quorum for this and then be able to discuss it. And then what I suggest, Councilwoman Nelson, is if you're able to just, take some notes while we discuss it, and then we can kind of concisely craft our feedback out of that.
Yep.
And then send that to them at the end of the meeting. I think that would be sufficient.
And get it as soon as possible back to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So great. And then as far as the other one with the crash test data, once we have that data, I would like to get feedback on that as well too, guys, and then get that back to the Transportation Commission. And Tim, I was wondering if you would be able to help with that, just because we're trying to hammer away and get that out for quite some time. And I want to be able to just follow through on both of those things so that, at the end of the year, when I'm able to email, Christine or Mayor Taylor, I can say, hey, these are the things that we are getting done, and hopefully they can be, proud of that and the fact that we're getting things done. So.
What exactly you want? I'm just thinking, are you talking about getting the crash test data or?
No. So once we have that, once it's found on Registrar and I'm able to send it to all of us and we're able to review it, then if we can sort of do a similar thing that we're doing with this vegetation piece of legislation, if we can do a similar thing with you, Tim, since you're on the Transportation Commission and one of your commissioners requested that we give the Transportation Commission the feedback on that, if we can, have the crash test data up and also the resolution and talk about that, if we can also just have you send them what our feedback is on that, then we can, get that, concluded as well.
Okay. So it's like essentially our resolution on what we think about the crosswalk law?
Yes, exactly. I just think, right now that this is the best way to do it because, then we can have it emailed right away and it can be, it can be concise and all of us are on the call. So it's not like people are working at, we can work at this simultaneously in the meetings versus discussing it, taking a bunch of notes, going back, looking at everything, and then having to go back and discuss a draft all over again. You know, I mean, I think it's more conducive if, you know, we're doing all of this work, you know, just all in the meeting and then sending it out to who needs the feedback. So why it took so long for that to click for me right now, I don't know, but but does that make sense, Tim?
Yeah, well, are you discussing as to how we're going to write this? Because that was the question. Like, are we setting up a meeting to discuss that?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that would be, you know, my goal would be to basically write it, you know, look at it while we're in the meeting and then basically write it together. So be able to kind of go back and forth and then get them something that we've written. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the goal. Doing exactly what we're doing right now, but with the, you know, the crosswalk law, and then getting it written so that we all have feedback on it and we know the language and we're confident in it. So
Well,
no,
I guess we're not writing this thing right now. All we're doing is reading the.
Well,
that's
right.
I'm a little confused.
Well, so what it would be is we'd be looking at the, you know, the document, but then we'd all be discussing on how it's to be written. I would just prefer if, since you're the Transportation Commission liaison, if you're responsible for just kind of writing down what we were writing to be able to send to the Transportation Commission.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So, okay. So then what I'll plan to do is we'll plan on talking about this at the October meeting, as well as the crosswalk ordinance as well, so that we can get both of these things out to the parties that are looking for our feedback. And then as far as, you know, the closed captioning thing, I agree with all of you guys. I think that we need to sort of, you know, keep that resource as of now. And of course, you know, I know Rachel and I will discuss that more further, but as of now, and I appreciate you, Denise, bringing this to my attention, because it had slipped my mind when trying to go through everything. But as of now, that is everything that I have on the agenda for today. Does anybody else have anything else that they would like to add or contribute before we adjourn? All right. Well, with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us on the meeting today. I think, you know, all of you guys are doing a great job. And again, I appreciate your persistence. I appreciate your patience. And I do appreciate your time, because that is the most valuable thing. And I know that, again, it's different doing all of these things the way that we're doing them now. But I think that we're still making progress and we're still moving forward. So thank you so much. And yeah, I appreciate it. And Elizabeth, really quick, if I could have your information, that would be great.
I just emailed it to
I'll
you,
sell it
actually.
to you.
Great. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, I was going to sell it to him.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And Denise, thank you so much. We'll be in touch.
You're more than welcome. I'll be in touch tomorrow.
All right. Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Great job.
everybody.
Bye.
It'll be much more fun when we get to meet in person.